to see some of you. Some of you, it's not good to see. I'm just kidding. Just chill out. Hey, guys, let's have some fun today. I've got some really good stuff for you guys today. Andy's traveling. He will be back on Monday's call, guaranteed next week. But I've got some absolute fire, and it's going to take every single person on here. Don't care who you are. I'm coming for you. So if you're not focused on what I'm about to say, then this is going to be unlike any call that you've probably ever seen. I'm 100% sure of it. If you're on this call, mute yourself so that I don't have to just mute everybody all the time. And then as I ask you to come off mute, please just come off mute. My name's Ian Macklin. I'm the head coach of training here at the Elliott Group with Andy. I started with Andy. I was in the car business. In case some of you guys don't know me, for what is now 15 years, for 8.5 years, I was number one at Nissan. I just kicked a lot of ass and figured out how to sell a lot of cars, figured out how to scale a lot of businesses in the meantime. And I always, somebody said I'm their favorite twin. Oh, yes. I know you're probably saying, Jacob, you're probably texting Evan that too. That's what my mom used to say. She used to say, Ian, you're the favorite twin. And then she'd be like, Evan, I'm like, did you just say that to him? So, but I help a lot of businesses scale. So today, I don't care what you're doing, where you're at, what job that you have, owner, salesperson, doesn't matter. I'm going to teach you some new ways of thinking, and let's all get fired up to become better. So that's what we're going to do today. I've got some great stuff planned for you guys today. So good morning. I am fired up to be here. Raise your hand if you're fired up to be here on a Labor Day. Listen, you guys are all 1%ers because most people are still at the lake. They're just chilling. Dude, they're not obsessed with winning. They're not obsessed with winning. They're not on these calls, Juan Carlos, Mike. They don't give a shit. You know when they give a shit, Mike? You know when losers give a shit? 1 time a year, 2 times a year, 3 times a year. Dude, we have to care every day. Guys, I want you guys to think of something. Raise your hand if you saw the CU football game this weekend. Raise your hand if you saw that CU football game. I'm from Colorado, so, I watch it. Raise your hand. Anybody see it? Anybody see it? Okay, some of you guys saw it. Let me walk you through something. And I want you to think about this. Matt Palazzo, Sean Edney, Sober. We got Mike, can't say your last name. Harry Jones. Harry looks like he's on a plane or something, and he's on this call. Guys, that's what it takes to be great. That's what it takes to be great. Doesn't matter where he is. Big-time players always show up to take big-time shots. And how do they do that? They show up in moments like this. I noticed that my man iPhone, on one of Landy's last meetings, I said, bro, you got to clean that do up. Look how he looks today. Look how he looks today. Some of you guys were on that call, and I was going hard on that guy. You know why? Because, I didn't want anybody to go hard on me. I wanted a coach to get a new result out of me. And a lot of people my whole life lied to me, told me I was great when really I wasn't. And if they would have just told me the truth, I'm a person where I'd much rather the truth than somebody just candy coat shit for me and feed me ice cream. I like Andy's approach of just telling people. So look, my man is coachable. He went and got his hair trimmed up. He looks good. He's alert. He's got a pen and paper. All right, guys, CU Buffs game today. Stephanie, did you see that? I want to walk you guys through something real quick. I want you guys to think of your game right now. Matt, Juan, Sungwo, Brian, imagine today you go into a coma. Imagine you go into a coma. You just are in a car accident. You go into a coma and you wake up, Matt, and you wake up, Sean, and, they're sitting next to you as your mentor, maybe your owner of your business. Maybe it's a salesperson in your business and you're the owner. Who cares? What? Who cares? Maybe it's your wife. And they say, oh my God, Matt, let's act like I'm the owner, Matt, and you're my salesperson. Now I'm like, Matt, dude, I need you back at work, dude. You're such a good leader. Dude, you're the best closer we got, dude. Dude, some guys are putting up 50,000 in revenue. You're putting up 800,000 in revenue. Bro, we can't survive without you. Matt, some people are putting up 8 cars, bro. You put up 50. Dude, you're the best to our team. Our whole team was about to be destroyed because you weren't there, Matt. Matt, we needed you. Matt, we love you, dude. We freaking needed you. God, it was so good to wake you up, Matt. Sungwoo, imagine if somebody was saying that about you. Imagine iPhone, you got to put your name on there so I can call you something different. Go on there and switch it. All right, Big Mike, imagine somebody saying that about you. Imagine you're in a coma, you wake up, you don't know who you are. You don't know if you're a good salesperson. You don't know if you're a good manager. You don't know any of this shit. You can't remember yesterday. And then they say, dude, you're the best salesperson we've ever seen. You're the best this. You're the best this. You're the best. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Guys, see, that's the way that Andy sees you guys. That's the way that you should see yourself. See, some of you don't see yourself that way. And the belief that you have, you convey that to customers. You convey it to customers. You literally can't make the money you want because for some reason you wake up every day and you have some doubts. You're like, man, I'm not good at this. I can't do this. You know, I like whatever. And you go down these rabbit holes. Dude, stop it. There was a time when I didn't believe in myself. My words were slow. My voice was slow. Listen, I was trying to be somebody else. Every one of us is special. Every one of us has some unique talents and some unique capabilities, but some of us aren't pushing hard enough to really unravel those. Some of us aren't really going down the belief aisle and just believing that we're freaking worth it. If you're writing something down, you should write down this statement. Andy always says it, and some people just don't get it. You'll never out earn your own self-worth. It's the truth, man. Listen, if you don't believe that you're worth 50 grand a month, you can't be worth 50 grand a month. If you don't believe that you have the best team in the world, you can't have the best team in the world. Colorado football team was on fire this weekend. Let me explain something. I'm from Colorado. We've never performed like that in the history of our program ever. Deion Sanders goes on his podium meeting before he's going out into the field. And you know what he says? Guys, listen to this. Give me your brain for freaking 3 minutes. Listen to this. Armando, you know what he says? You know what he says? They said, hey, are you going to win today? And you know what he says, which is a dumbass question asked. You know what he says? He says one thing. He says, listen, man, I don't give a shit if we win. I don't give a shit if we lose. But I guarantee you one thing. I guarantee you one thing and one thing only. You guys have never seen this kind of effort. You've never seen this kind of effort that my players are going to put out there today. And Sean, the minute that the kickoff happened, I saw 20 players tackle one guy. I thought they had players from the sidelines. I think only like 11 are allowed to play. The whole team was on the football field. Why? They believe, dude. Effort is the cure to everything. If you're putting effort into becoming somebody new every day, you can't not become somebody new in a month. You can't. You physically can't. You will physically change if you believe you're worth it and you put the effort into believing that. I see Jacob yawning. Jacob, did you work out today? Jacob, did you work out today? There's no way he worked out today. You know why? Because he wouldn't be tired. Jacob, do I look tired?
Not at all.
Jacob, I've got a son. I wake up at 3:30 in the morning. I know some of you don't have to wake up at 3:30. You think that's bullshit. If you fucking know me, you know that that's how I operate. I get into the cold plunge pool by 4:30. My son's standing by the door with his stuff, trying to go to work with me because he knows I leave at 5. I spend 30 minutes with him, usually convincing him he can't come to work. And then I go to work and I kick ass. Listen, I'm never tired because for the last 11 years, I've had a coach like Andy telling me that there's more in the tank, telling me that I have to keep that edge, telling me that everybody else is going to quit, but I can't quit, telling me that I can be worth it if I fucking believe it and if I earn that new level. But you know what? The world is convincing a lot of people that they can settle, that they can hang at the lake. You haven't freaking earned the lake. Dude, I haven't earned the lake. Now, listen, I'm not telling you not to spend time with your families. I'm not telling you any of that shit. I'm telling you, how much effort are you putting into yourself, your family, everything around you? Are you so stirred up that people can feel that obsession and belief when they're around you, Jacob? Listen to me. Here's the coaching. When somebody is around you, do they feel like it's the CU Buffs, that you're so on fire, that you believe in yourself, you believe in your product, you believe in your team, you believe in your company, and it's not like an arrogant belief. It's just that the look in my eyes, the love in my heart, the way that I speak to them, the way that I treat them like they're my best friend, Jacob, every prospect, no matter who they are. I don't just talk to them with false words and fucking bullshit hope. Listen, I talk to them like I truly love them because I do. I truly care about them. You know what's lacking in the world nowadays, Jacob? People don't care. They don't care about themselves. They definitely don't give a shit about the clients. So guys, if you're competing with anybody, Sean Carrington, and you know that they don't care, you know that they fucking say a bunch of shit that isn't real, could you be different? Could you be the Buffs that believe in themselves more than ever? Listen, I don't know who told you guys, some of you guys, that you're not worth it, that you can't make the same money as a top producer. I don't know. Brian Egan's on this call. He's a good solar guy, you know, and he's an animal, but somebody along the way is going to tell Brian that he's only worth 200 grand, 300 grand, 400 grand. In reality, Brian can be worth whatever he wants to be worth, you know, and once Brian busts through the ceiling of belief, everything will flow. The customers will close every time. They'll feel like they're in the right spot. You won't get discouraged if they don't close because you're so secure with yourself. So today I want to ask you a couple things. Number one, I wanted to set the foundation of belief. The words that come out of your mouth, if you're not able to make people believe in them, it's because you don't believe in yourself. And how do you believe in yourself? You have to work on yourself, like truly every day, not some days. You think Dion has done relatively the same shit, probably pretty aggressively over the last 30 years? Yes. He called a big shot, take it. And by the way, the people who don't know this program, they were the worst program in college football history for the last like 3 years, 5 years, 10 years straight. They're dog shit. They're my team. I went to that school for a year and then they said that I politely didn't have to come back. And I said, why? And they said, just, it's better for you this way. You're not built for this. You know what I'm saying? Then I found sales. Sales is my sport. How many of you guys is sales is your sport and you're so competitive that nobody can beat you? See, man, I hate to lose. I physically get sick when I lose. Losing is good for me because it really pisses me off and makes me go harder. I remember a couple times in my life when I've lost, like in car business, I never lost. I lost like one time in my dealer and that was enough for me. And then I was kicking ass and I was taking names and I was rising through the ranks. And then I said, man, I'm going to stop competing with the losers in my store. I'm going to start competing with everybody around the world. I want to be world class. I want to be the best. How am I going to do that? Well, it's going to take world-class effort. It's going to take world-class discipline. It's going to take world-class accountability, a word that most of you don't like. World-class accountability. That means if, Jacob, I tell you you're fucking tired, you better never be called tired ever again. Ever. I should see you and be like, you should be like, that changed my life. I told a lot of you the story of when Grant Cardone called me tired 15 years ago. Ain't nobody's ever called me tired again, bro, because I'm coachable. Because I said, not one of you will ever catch me sleepy, ever, because I'm fired the fuck up and I'm ready to eat nails because I was coachable and I ran the play that he told me wins. See, Andy told me, hey, there's a play that wins. Here's the play, guys. Here's the blueprint. Passion, energy, enthusiasm, belief, all of the same shit that football team displayed on Saturday. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. They just ran it at a bigger level with all of their players. Are all their players like family? Do you guys see that, how they treat each other? Do you guys see how they never leave a player on the field? Do you guys see how they enter the locker room and exit the locker room? Do you guys see that they have the best grade point average that they've had in school history as a sports team? Do you guys see all that? See, I see all that. I notice all of those things. Go to my Facebook. You'll see something I just posted on Dion. It's going viral around the internet, because people want to see leadership, Sean. The world's sick of bullshit leadership. Everybody wants a good leader. That's why you guys are here, because most of you don't have a leader, or most of you want to become a better leader, and you believe that Andy is a great leader. See, I believe Andy's the best leader I've ever seen because I've worked next to him for the last 4 years. I lived at his house. I watched him wake up. I watched the way he treated his family. I watched how he doesn't fucking blink, which makes me think that he's an alien. Okay. I truly believed for the first 6 months that he was an alien because I slept at his house and I never once saw him sleep. I'm not saying that has to be you. I'm just saying he has a legendary obsession. He has a legendary obsession. It's a legendary obsession, purely. I don't have that yet. Some people think I've got that. I'm nowhere close. Okay. I'm actively chasing that next level and I'll get there. And then people are going to be like, God, that guy's got a legendary obsession. It's going to take a bit, but you know what it's going to take? More wins in your bucket, more closing, more ways you speak, the ways that you communicate with your team, with your families, with the way you love people, with the way you play with your heart, the way that you're not cold as fucking ice, the way that you're not fucking serious. Guys, is Andy a passionate, fucking serious person? Yeah. But is he having fun? Is he fired up and excited? He's not like passionate where he doesn't want to, he gets on to people and then he's having fun. Think about your game right now, guys. Think about your game. Is your passion lacking? Is your belief lacking? If you fix your belief, you'll fix everything. If you fix other people's belief, you'll be a billionaire. Truly. I'm hoping today that I can fix some of your beliefs in yourself. Mike, people told me I wasn't worth it. I dropped out of school 3 times. I sold drugs. I did a lot of things that I wasn't supposed to do. I burned a lot of people that I wasn't supposed to burn. I wasn't proud of myself. I was telling myself every day at 18, 19 years old that I was a piece of shit. And then I started to tell myself a new story. You know why? Because I saw a lot of the people that were at the top, they had the same story as me. They burned people, they hurt people, they weren't the people that they wanted to be, but they became somebody new. It's not who you are, it's who you're becoming. Everybody's been through a past. Everybody has adversity. Everybody has things that they're not happy with. but you can also fix one of those things, two of those things, three of those things. You can fix them and you can become better. How long does it take to become better? Today, a decision. It doesn't, some people think it takes years. It just takes today. It takes looking in the mirror and saying, hey, I'm going to fix two things in my life today. Tomorrow, I'm going to focus on two things in my life. And I'm going to stay consistent where I know most people will not be consistent. And if you did that, it's just a decision. It's just a decision. And what does that create? More belief, more passion, more fire, more excitement. Some of you are 50, 60, 70 years old and you're like, oh, well, you know, this is the last music I'm going to play. Dude, you're so fucking dumb. You know, Colonel Sanders started KFC chicken when he was like 65. You know, I actually think the top 10 billionaires in the world, like most, I think that they said like 7 of them didn't have $1 million till they were 40. Like, so some of them didn't have money till they were 60. Like, are you done? Or is that all you got? Please don't tell me that's all you got, because I know that there's so much more in you because you're on this meeting. So I want to ask you something. Can we take an audit of ourselves right now? Can we take an audit of what we're going to do today? I was going to come on here and just actually, I got way carried away. I said, hey, I'm going to blast you guys all with word tracks, and I'm going to hit you guys all with word tracks. I've revamped my thinking as I'm talking to you guys. You know, I wanted to see where you guys are at with like, hey, I got to think about it. Hey, I got to do this. Hey, and I wanted to handle every objection from every industry because I can. I don't care if you're a moving company and you come off and you say, hey, this person's got a cheaper bid or whatever it is, or any of those things. I don't care about that. I will handle any objection, anytime, anywhere, under any pressure. Don't care, because sales is sales. My belief will outweigh yours probably, and that's when somebody's sold. When your belief transfers into somebody, they will be sold. But some people don't have any belief, and then that's why they can't get on here, and that's why they're scared. See, I'm not scared of objections. I'm not scared of closing. If you walk into a car dealership and you go to sit down and close somebody and you're nervous and you're scared, trust me, they're never going to close. Brian, you knock on somebody's door, knock, knock, and you're scared, they're never going to close, or they're a lay down. And there's only so many lay downs out there. They're dying to hear you speak. They're dying to hear that you care. They're dying to hear that you're working on themselves. They're dying to see the fire come out of your mouth like a fire-breathing dragon. They're dying to see that you're alive like nobody else is. So I was going to focus on word tracks, but I want to really actually just hammer this point home, because this is more important than word tracks. Everybody should know the top 5 word tracks in their business. I got to think about it. You know, the price is too high. I need to get a couple other bids. You know, I'm shopping the competitor. There are 5 objections, guys. But some of us don't know the 5 objections. But I know 500 objections. And I'm not bragging about me, but I'm just saying, like, you should know your 5 objections. We're beyond that. If you've been with us longer than 2 months and you don't know 5 objections, then like you ain't listening. Now, why do we know objections, guys? Let me talk about something. It's not so that we can just spit something cool out. It's just so when we get caught with our backs against the wall, we have something to say that makes sense and we can make it our own. Sean Edney, come off mute real quick, and I want you to hit me with an objection of like, I need to think about it. Like, that's a super common one. Everybody has it. Sean, we get outside of a car lot. You tell me you need to think about it. Go. Just say I need to think about it.
I tell you?
No, just tell me. I'm not going to hit you. Just tell me, Ian, I got to think about it.
Yeah, I need to think about it. I need to speak to my partner and decide.
Now, listen, the objection is, of course you need to think about it. I haven't given you enough information not to think about it. What I like to do is give you a quick 5-minute proposal of all the facts and figures. That way you truly have something to think about. Would that be fair? That's the objection. I'm not going to say that shit. I am going to internalize it, memorize it, and customize it. Some people go straight to customizing. That's why they're an amateur. I'm never going to say that with the customer. Sean, what I'm going to say is, hey, Sean, man, number one, I get that, man. I totally get it, man. Let's just say that you went home right now and you didn't have all the information that you actually needed to make the right decision. Wouldn't it be worth your time to go inside for 5 minutes for me to give you that information? And then you could go home and you truly have something to think about. Would that be fair, Sean? Could I do that for you, man?
Yeah.
Sean, thank you so much. Follow me inside. Hey, by the way, Sean, can I get you some water, some coffee, you know, something nice? What can I get you, Sean?
All of it.
Sean, tell me nothing. Tell me nothing, Sean.
Don't want anything. Don't want
anything.
Hey,
Sean, I made a promise to my wife that any customer that came in, I'd feed them like they were at our house. So I got to get you water, coffee, and empty cup. I got to get you something, Sean. So what can I get you? Empty cup, water, coffee?
Water.
Hey, do I have a little bit of control of him? Is he listening to me? Does he feel like I believe? Do I believe in the words that I said? I didn't hit him with just a word track. Don't make any mistake about word tracks. Some people take word tracks out of context. So they're like, Ian, you're teaching people to be robots. Shut the fuck. You don't get it, dude. If you don't have something to say on your heart, then you don't have good language. You don't have good verbiage, and you can't shut sales. I shut over 6,000 sales as a car dealer. You know why? Because I knew what to say when I needed to say it. And maybe it wasn't all the time perfect, but Sean, I believed in the words that were coming out of my mouth, so they believe too. But you can't be good in business unless you believe. You can't be good in business if you're saying shit that doesn't matter. You can't be good in business if your tongue is tied to the top of your mouth. You can't. Mike, you can't be good in sales if you walk up to me and you don't believe in the handshake that you give me. Mike, I'd have to be a laydown for you in any product that you sell if I walked up and you gave me a weak ass handshake like 90% of the men on this planet do nowadays. Listen, I've got a girl, Maria, here. She walks up to people in the seminar and she's like worked up over this shit because she comes from like a military family. Like she wants people to be men, you know, and she shakes guys' hands. And she's like, and she'll call them out. She'll be like, what is that? What did you just do? She's like, shake a hand like a man. Like we got to get back to doing the basics. The basics is belief. The basics is our passion. Basics is our energy. The basics is our belief in ourselves. Everything changes when that changes. Sean, what kind of business do you do?
Consulting.
Okay, consulting for what?
Workflow.
For who?
That's organization.
What kind of organization?
Manufacturing. So it's workflow.
Okay, so let's say you wanted to fix my problem, but let's say you call me and then you don't have any belief in fixing my problem and you're not confident in your consulting. And I'm like, hey man, I got to think about it. And you spit some bullshit out where you're like, oh, wah, 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 like most people that are probably in consulting. I'd say, hey dude, listen, man, what is there to think about? Sean, listen, you reached out because you wanted somebody to fix your problem of manufacturing. Am I right?
Right.
Sean, do you understand that there's probably cheaper consultants out there? Do you know that?
100%.
Okay, Sean, but you don't want to go through this problem multiple times and spend more money by having a cheaper consultant that does the job wrong. Am I right?
Yeah.
Sean, so spending a little bit more money with a true professional that would take care of you, your family, and this entire business, that would be better for you in the long run and for right now. Am I right?
Oh, yeah.
Sean, welcome to doing business with a pro. I truly appreciate you. I thank you. And Sean, I'm going to make you a promise. I'm never going to let you down, ever, ever. And if I do, Sean, I want to give you the permission to smack me in the face and tell me that I did something wrong because I'm coachable, Sean, but without communication, maybe I'll never know that I did do something wrong. Okay. I'm not perfect, but I've got a bigger commitment to you and your business than anybody around. You got me, Sean?
Oh, yeah.
Sean, do I sound like I care? Do I sound like I'm fired up? Do I sound like I'm coachable? Do I sound like a winner? See, I want you guys to think about what Coach Prime teaches these guys. He teaches them the basics of winning. The basics of winning is belief. The basics of winning is effort. The basics of winning is passion. The basics of winning is how you do anything is how you do everything. Listen, before all of his players went home this weekend, you know what they did? They cleaned all of the locker rooms. You know who didn't clean the locker room? The other team, because they're not focused on the basics. His team went and cleaned the entire locker room and walked that stadium. You know why? Because winners recognize the details. Winners recognize everything. Winners think everything matters. Because why? It does. It actually does. Some people are like, I don't understand that. I don't know why you couldn't understand that. The details of your business mean everything. The details of everything that you're missing mean everything. It could be the reason why you're not scaling. It could be the reason why when you talk to people, they don't believe in you, or you're a leader and you can't influence your culture to be like theirs because you're not speaking from your heart. You don't remember what it's like to be a C player trying to be an A player. A lot of people that aren't getting what they want in life, all they're looking for is an opportunity and a leader. That's all they're looking for. That's all they're looking for. Could you be that? Yeah. Somebody texts me and I always read the DMs. It says, what if your job takes you to the, what does it say? What if your job takes you to other people's home turf? For example, I work in the Department of Defense Sales, so I'm headed to DC. They aren't coming to my home turf. How would they, that? I don't, Dean Meadows.
Yeah, what's up?
Hey, buddy, explain that to me so I can try to help you.
Yeah, so for instance, I work in selling technology to the Department of Defense. So I go to DC. It's not like they're coming to where I am. So similarly, what up? So similarly, you're having a customer come to your lot, your place of business to buy a car. I'm going to their home turf. I'm going to DC. I'm the Pentagon. I'm talking with people who are in the military. And so it's not the same. I don't know how it's similar in the sense like you're asking them, hey, do you want to have a cup of coffee or water or something like that? I guess that scenario is a little bit different.
Check this out, Dean. I'm gonna blow your damn mind.
Yeah.
Listen, Dean.
Go for it. I'm here.
Dean, listen. Hey, Dean, you're who are these guys that you're selling to? Generals, who are they?
Yeah, lieutenant colonels, generals.
Okay, so they all have an assistant, right?
Right.
They all have an assistant. We're doing a contract with the military. I had some generals fly in, their assistants called. They wanted to know all the details of everything. And you know what I asked them? I said, hey, Dean, you're Sean's assistant, right? Okay. Hey, when I come in there, what does Sean drink? What shoe size does Sean wear? What shoe size does he wear? I don't know why you're asking this, because I'm bringing him a gift. Because listen, where we come from, we have a thing called reciprocity. We always give before anything. So what does he drink? What does he eat? What does he want? What shoe size does he wear? I'll go buy him a badass pair of boots. And before I even do business with him, Dean, I'm going to sit down with him and I'm going to make that bitch my home turf. I'm going to make that shit my home turf. I'm going to sit down with that general and I'm going to say, hey, dude, I got your size 10.5 pair of shoes. They're already buffed, shined, and ready to go, dude, just in case you want to walk with them. Hey, I also got you a cup of coffee. I'm not an ass kisser, by the way. I just know that most people don't give a shit anymore, and I do. Now, with the military, Dean, I'd cuss. You know what? I'd say, hey, and I'm not an ass kisser, just so you know, but I know one thing. Most people in this world don't care about America or your guys' commitment to America, and I truly do. So I bought these for you, whether you do business with me or not. I respect the commitment that you have to America. I truly value that commitment. So I got something from my family for yours to show you the commitment that I have to you, man. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate you, and anything that I can do, I'm there for you. Now let's get down to business. It's my fucking home turf. I own that shit. See, a lot of people think it's home turf. Dude, you got to make it your home turf. You got to think about how to move.
Baby, that's right.
You got to think about like all these people. Listen, if you're in real estate and you show up to an appointment and you're like, oh, I'm just showing up to meet these people at a house, dude, you already lost. Every real estate agent shows up like that. I had a real estate agent that I learned this thing called value in advance for. You can Google it on YouTube. It's called value in advance. It's a YouTube video I did for Andy, and we believe in value in advance. Listen, if I send you something, if I bring you something, you're going to feel like you owe me something. I used to always do that. They'd be like, Ian, how do you have like 100% show effort, like show people showing up the dealership? Well, Dean, if I had coffee ready for you and I took a picture of it and I said I was going to get you coffee over the phone, I said I was going to do these things. If you were going to go to another dealership, which they do, but I had that screenshot and I'm like, hey, I'm waiting on you. I'm getting your coffee to the perfect temperature. You know, I got it for you. Dean, they would call me and say, oh, this guy's offering a better price. Boom, I knew what my objection was. Or they would just show up because they'd be like, oh, that guy's so nice. And then when I met them, they felt like they know me. Dean, you've got to search, and everybody on here, you've got to search for ways to give before you ask, deposit before you withdraw. Some of you are just trying to withdraw from the customers without depositing into them. Figure out ways to deposit into them like they've never seen before, and you will be rich, okay? You will be truly rich. Ask yourselves this: how did you all get here? Andy built YouTube videos for free. He literally went broke doing it, built them for 2 years, and gave you guys more value to where you started to perceive that, shit, man, I feel like I owe this guy some way. I'll join his coaching program. And then you saw that you could scale your life, so you saw the value in the program. But before he even met you, he gave you value. Am I right? Okay. Can you do that with your customers? Just think. Can you do that with your customers? Yes. If I have a fitness program and I'm training them, when I notice they're in the wrong shoes, but they're a client that's paying $5,000 for 2 months of training, I'll go buy them the damn shoes and say, hey, bro, I got you the pair of shoes. You think any of the fitness trainers are going to do that? No, they're not. I'm actively searching for ways to be different. There was a solar lady on here, Cecilia Lopez. I said, hey, Cecilia, you're going to their house at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. You're getting an appointment set for you. Why not call their house before and tell them you're going to bring them dinner? And tell them you don't care if they buy, but it's dinner time, and where you come from in your culture, you don't just show up to somebody's house empty-handed. So what do they want? Chick-fil-A? What do you want? I'm getting you something. I assure you I'm getting you something. I will get you guys ice cream, something. I don't show up empty-handed ever. Okay? Listen. I used to teach. I've taught some of you guys this online. I closed a massive automotive group of like 80 stores. I could never get the CEO to call me back. You think a CEO is going to call you back? No. Business to corporate is a different deal. When I'm selling business to corporate, which is what I do now, I have to figure out ways to move them and they don't know me or trust me. You know what I do? Call his secretary and say, hey, what kind of shoes does that guy wear? I know it's a weird question. I'm just sending him something just so you know. Oh, he wears an Allen Edmonds, a $600 shoe. And he wears 10 and a half. I send him one shoe and I say, all you got to do is call me back. This is Ian from the Elliott Group. I've already got one foot in the door. Help me get a second, my friend. Help me get a second foot in the door and I'll send you your other shoe, big dog. You think he wants to see his salespeople doing that shit? Hell yeah, he does. You think he's ever seen that shit? Hell no, he hasn't. So who does he want training his sales team? A weenie that's not figuring out how to give value in advance, or somebody that's figuring out that's not asking for something like the whole world. Oh, I need something. I want to sell you something. Wait. Bro, I've already given you so much shit. You feel like you owe me. My customers right now, I've done so much with some of you for so long. I don't call you to sell you a seminar ticket or none of that shit. You call me. You're like, Ian, I can't wait to come down there. And I don't call and sell anybody shit anymore. I used to. That was years ago. Now I provide so much value. I set up the things when you come into town. I always figure out how to get you closer to Andy, do different things than anybody's ever done. And for that turn, you're with me forever. You're always with me. I invite you to events when we're going out into your city, whether I'm in Dallas, I'm like, hey, we're close. We're in Dallas. Why don't you come backstage with us and watch Andy warm up this conference? And you're like, oh my God, but I'm not going to do that for people that ain't trying. But like, you guys get it. It's value in advance. How much value are you giving these customers in advance? Steve, you got a question?
Yeah, like I sell insurance. How do you do that over the phone when you're calling these leads and you're calling people? How do you give before you ask and deposit before you withdraw?
So are you calling insurance like life insurance leads?
Yep.
Okay, great. So you're just calling leads that you bought, right?
Yep.
Okay, so number one, you're going to have to connect with these people to see who they are. Do you set appointments like for later times, or do you just call them and try to pitch them on one call?
Call them, try to do one call close.
Okay, see, that might work for a lot of people and it might not work for some people. You know what I mean? I would typically call, and if it was, Steve, let me ask you this. How many calls are not one call closes and you set an appointment to get like both people on the phone?
A lot of them, most of them.
Okay, so if you have a lot of them that are set and you're going to work those, one call closing, you might not be able to do this. It doesn't really exist in one call closing. But Steve, if you have a pipeline and you've talked to a lady a couple times and she sounds interested, Steve, do you have her address?
Yep.
Okay, Steve, ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, there you go.
Check this out, Steve. Steve, you ever heard of a little thing called DoorDash?
Yep.
Everybody likes sushi, Steve. And and it doesn't matter what you're sending her, Steve, but what if you sent her sushi? She got off the phone with you and you did a little DoorDash. You spent $20 on that lead to make $1,000. Steve, would you spend $20 to make $1,000?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, Steve, you're going to spend thousands of dollars on leads this month. Why don't you spend thousands of dollars on the customers and your leads, and your business will 10x? Talk about that shit, Grant Cardone. Your shit will go up.
Yeah.
Okay, hey, I'm going to answer a couple more questions because, listen, I like questions, but here's what I want to do. I want you guys to think about this. The main message of this coaching is the effort. The main message of this coaching is belief. And now it's kind of going off into this value thing because so many of you like just fucking lit up like, oh shit, I'm not doing any of that. So now I see like 15 direct messages and I don't even know how to go through those. So if you have a question, just pop the little emoji hand. Is that what it's called? Emoji hand up. And then I'll call on you. But here's the deal. Some people I know on these coaching sessions, they're like, oh, I don't want to hear somebody else. I just want to hear what you have to say. Listen to what I'm going to say. Did that help us, me coaching Steve right there? Did that help us? I think it did for a lot of people because we didn't know what he was going to say. And see, that's real coaching. Steve gave me something, and then I'm just trying to figure out how to make it a little bit better. Steve's in his circle all day. He sits at his chair all day. He's making his phone calls all day. He sometimes needs somebody that's not sitting there with him to give him a new way of thinking. And by the way, a lot of this shit, I sold cars. I learned from real estate agents. I learned from other industries. I never learned from just directly my business. That's why I was so good in car sales, because everybody was trying to talk car sales. I was talking business. These people are business people. They want to see shit that they've never seen before. Stefan Johnson, it looked like you had a first question.
Yes, sir. I would just want to know, have you guys, have the Elliott Group, have they ever worked with a sports agency, like a sports agent?
Yeah, we're working with Tim Grover, the best sports agent in the damn world.
All right, sounds good. Yeah, just So I'm waiting on the results for my my sports agent test. I just took it in July, and I find out this week. So I'm excited. I'm ready to rock and roll as soon as I find out the results and start training with you guys. So
Dude, that's
I'm ready.
awesome, man. We get a lot of sports agents. You know how you're going to close agents? You
Uh,
know how you're going to close players?
Oh,
Relationships.
yes, sir.
The way that you get into those rooms, the best agents in the world, the best agents in the world, they've gotten there by relationships. Dude, you're a couple relationships away from every player in the world. You're one relationship. I know I live next to Devin Booker, lives in the same building. He lived in the same building as me. I think he just moved out, but lived in the same building as me for a long time. Down the street from me is like two other guys. The coach, Monty Williams, that just left the Suns because he got fired, he goes to the same church as me. All of these guys go to my church where I go in Scottsdale. Like our church has everybody there. So like you're a couple relationships away from a big player. Also, you know what these players want to see? You're going to have to find one player. And you know what you're going to have to do? You're going to have to give one player your all. You're going to have to turn that player into a raging fan. When you turn that player into a raging fan because you're doing the right thing and you're showing up better than everybody, you're handling his business better than everybody, what's going to happen? The most powerful thing in sales, referrals. And once you get a referral and you have two sports players, then you can start getting lucky, hitting more, and then you'll have a book of business. All you're going to need is those couple players, and you're going to have to take care of them better than ever. We started this company taking care of one salesperson and showing him how to make a fuck ton of money, one business showing them how to make a ton of money. And then it spread like wildfire because we had all these testimonials just speaking for us, not us speaking. What's better? Guys, let me ask you guys, what's better than a third-party testimonial? Is it me saying how good my business is, or is it Grayson, or Jacob, or Car Guy Jake? See, Car Guy Jake could come on here and make all of you cry because Car Guy Jake was so close to a suicide when he reached out to us and he was going to kill himself. And he literally called Andy as kind of a last hope. And Andy got on the phone with him, literally developed a relationship with Car Guy Jake. And I've told this story when I was talking to 5,000 people at a Level Up conference and I made everybody cry. I said, how do you speak to people? How do you believe in people? How do you let people borrow your belief? How do you show up for your customers? Well, Car Guy Jake literally changed his life. He would send Andy these videos with his kids where his kids are like, you saved our daddy and our daddy's on fire. Now he's the #1 salesperson in his dealership. And you know what? More than anything, he drove down to our first seminar in Arizona and he gave him his dog tag. And he said, dude, the old me actually died. When somebody dies, they give away your dog. You take their dog tags, right? He gave him his dog tag and Andy still has him on his keychain today. And he said, that meant everything to me. That meant everything to me that you changed my entire life. That moment changed our entire company because we showed up for that client hard, and that client showed up hard as a student. So how hard will you show up for your people? Will you do what you say you're going to do, or will you halfway do what you say you're going to do? All right. Anyways, Car Guy Jake's close to my heart. Every time I see him, I get happy because I've seen all the change in him. You know what I mean? And we've done everything that we're saying to do together. All right. Stefan, make a fan out of whatever player that you get. Like a Car Guy Jake. Car Guy Jake would do anything for us, bro. He would kill people for us. I know he would. If I needed to kill somebody, I'd say Car Guy Jake. Put him in a hole, and don't.
Killing's the easy part. Getting rid of them is where I'm at.
All right.
Yeah,
All right.
I appreciate that.
All right. Mondo, you're next, my brother. We got like 10 questions, which is cool. I love questions. I'll just handle them over the next 10 minutes. We'll try to focus on 10 minutes. Mondo, what do we got, my brother?
Unmute. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, man.
Okay. Happy Labor Day, everybody. I'm happy to be here. Really quick, I got a lot of scenarios and we'll get into more later on, but initially I wear a lot of hats. I run a concrete contracting company in Michigan, and there's a lot of times I find myself in the field, working, running equipment, actually laying and forming concrete, taking leads in, and there's times that I have to go to appointments or try to facilitate meeting customers and talking to them while I'm actually doing the work. So one part of my question is, if I have to leave or I have to go to an appointment while I'm out working in the field, should I bring a change of clothes? Or if I represent myself slightly dirty because I'm actually forming and pouring concrete, would it behoove myself to bring a polo, throw it in the truck so I don't look completely hands-on, even though I am?
Well, hey, so number one, let me ask you a couple questions. So do you have a team?
I don't currently. I have in the past, and right now I'm rebuilding. I just can't seem to
So it's just
figure
you.
it out. I've been in business 20 years, but it's been
Hey, is it just you?
Currently it's me and I have
Okay,
finished.
check this out, guys. If somebody showed up to your door and they said this, hey, Amando, hey, man, hey, check this out, dude. I'm covered in concrete. Hey, before we get started, I just got to tell you a couple things. Listen, I'm covered in concrete today. I would say show up covered in concrete because I would respect somebody that says, hey, listen, man, I'm the owner. You know, I have a company, but I actually do the work myself. Most owners don't. I try to sometimes throw on polo and clean clothes to meet these appointments, but I had some customers that I really needed to make sure everything went smoothly. So I was out pouring the concrete myself. That's why I look like this. So don't think I'm homeless. I am actually the owner, but I was actually just doing the work, which most people in this world don't want to do the work anymore. I will never let concrete ever get poured in my company that I don't pour directly with them. So they wait for me, I make it happen, and I do it myself. See, hey, Amando, I don't want to do business necessarily with Amazon. I like small business. I like knowing I could call your fucking ass and you're going to take care of that concrete when it cracks. Who's going to do the work? See, some people show up so clean in their Mercedes and they're like, oh yeah, my team is doing it. Listen, bro, I like the guy that's dirty. I like the guy that's fired up. I like the guy that says he's going to be there when the concrete cracks and like he's going to actually do the work and he's actually doing the work. That's way more important to me than clean clothes.
One more quick thing. So yes, I appreciate that. And it's worked and no one's really been hating on me for that reason. But I just didn't know if it would increase my sales. So your answer is no.
Hell no, I don't think it would, man. I think it'd decrease your sales. But I think if you learn that, I think if you learn how to frame it up front, like make sure that like it's part of what you say. Like, hey, how you doing? Nice to meet you. Hey, real quick, sorry that I showed up looking like this, but let me explain why. I'm the owner, but I feel like most people are disconnected from their businesses, and I want to make sure that the concrete goes down like correctly. And nobody does that anymore. Nobody has a personal touch anymore. So, hey, sorry, I don't want to go off on a tangent on that.
That's good. Thank you. I won't take up any more of your time. I know other people have questions.
Hey, but does that make sense? If I say that, and then I'm like, hey, I don't want to go off on a tangent, but like most people don't give a shit anymore. You know what I'm saying? And they're like,
you're right. You're absolutely right. Because they don't. They send a team out or
he's like, you're right, dude. You're right.
Eventually, if I do have sales personnel, they will give the same personal touch that I give. I don't want somebody who's just clean. They need to know that.
I'd have them all dirty, bro. I'd have them put some mud on their damn faces like warriors.
Right. Yeah. Thank you.
All right. You got it, brother. All right. Big Mike, what do we got?
Man, Ian, I'm in real estate. I need some social media content about these stupid interest rates that everyone bitches about.
Good, man. Hey, here's some content. Hey, guys, listen, man, I know that everybody's talking about the interest rates right now, but you know what everybody should be talking about also is all the money that you can save. Listen, I was just on Zillow because I'm actually in the market for a house. I saw the same house that I was looking at drop $74,000 here in Scottsdale in the last 2 months. So, guys, listen. What you need to do is educate people on what's happening and don't talk about the rate. Literally, you need to build content on all the good things that are happening in the market. Guys, I just went down here and my buyer literally bought the house for 80 grand cheaper. I know that you guys are mentioning the interest rates, but dude, they're going to come back soon as we get Donald back in presidency. But you're not going to get that 80 grand back because the market's going to go up. So it's going to be crazy for you. So would you rather buy a house right now while it's cheaper? Interest rates are a little high. That's cool. We already know that they're high. It's no big deal. My customers are saving more money. I'm busier than ever. I'm panicking because I'm selling more houses. Bro, the perception that you put into the media is the perception that your customers are going to have. The perception that they had for that CU football game is everything that they could do is a win. You need to put your wins out there. You need to put how many customers are happy out there. You need to put all the content that people are first-time buyers. Hey, my first-time buyer just bought a house for 50 grand less than what he could buy it 2 years ago. He was totally cool with paying that 1.5% difference of what he would have got 6 months ago. When the rate goes down, guess what's going to happen? He's going to refinance. But guess what's going to happen? He's going to have a lower payoff. Woo! He's going to have fun, bro. Let's go. Dude, you got to make it sound like it's no big deal, and then it'll be no big deal. Say no big deal, Mike. No big deal. And then all my
no big deal.
No big deal, Mike. And then it's all about that, bro. All right. Hey, I'm going to put my number in the chat too. I'll answer 2 more questions, and then if anybody has any questions, you can just reach out to me. If you want to come to a conference, if you want to sit with me, Big Mike, I got a lot of people that will fly down early. And if they're committed, they're coming to a seminar, they're spending money. Some people are like, well, you only spend time with people who are spending money. No, I just know people are committed. And if they're committed to our program and they're coming down to like do a conference, or like, Ian, I'll come down and do a conference. How can I get 5 minutes with you, 10 minutes with you, 15 minutes with you and build out a plan? dude, I'm more than willing to give you that time. I got 20 people that go to the Lifetime Fitness with me every seminar because they just want to work out and get together. And then I got some people where I'll have meetings all the next day after seminars if they're invested in themselves. So Mike, I would love to sit with you someday and go over your content and show you a ton of real ideas because I got a fuck ton for that, man. All right, Sung Woo, I got you, and then I got Brian, and then I'll go down the line real quick. Sung Woo, what do you got, buddy?
All right. So I'm in the pressure washing industry and I scheduled a meeting with the property manager tomorrow over the phone. I've never spoken to a property manager before. How do you think I should go about like developing that relationship with them?
Wait, what do you sell?
Pressure washing.
Oh, and then you're going to go, you're trying to pitch them to be able to do like their apartment and shit, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay. How much does that cost? Oh, watch this, guys. I love this.
It's usually going to be around, he said a couple of jobs, so around maybe 1,000 to 2,000, something.
Have you ever done this before? This is a little business that you just opened up and it's a baby and you're trying to get it off the ground.
So we've done residential, but this is our first commercial job.
So it's
that we've ever, got a lead for.
How many residential jobs have you done?
We've done over 150.
Okay, so you're good at what you do, but now you're moving into the commercial space that has more money. Okay, all right, Sung Woo, focus on what I'm going to say. And most kids your age, they're not going to understand what I'm going to say, but I'm telling you, it'll change your entire life. And anybody out there, it'll change your entire life. Sung Woo, the most powerful thing that you could do is pressure wash that entire fucking building for free. For free. You know why? Because check this out, Sung Woo. If you have that person as a testimonial and you show up and you ask for nothing and you power wash that building, they will feel like they owe you. There's no close to be had. Ma'am, I showed up. I'm going to pressure wash this entire building for free. And if you like our services, then you can schedule the next 2 or 3 of them. I don't care if this takes me 50 days to do. I'm going to do it for free. And then at the end of it, if you like our services, I would love for you to sign up for 2 packages, for 3 packages. But more than anything, I would also like for you to be a testimonial for us. I'm never going to tell her that she's my first job. I'm not going to say that shit. I'm just going to show up and do the work. And then Sung Woo, she will be a referral for me forever, but I don't got to go in there and close her. I'm going to go in there and give her more value than she knows what to do. She's going to say, how much does this cost? I'm going to say 0. It typically costs exactly what it costs. So she knows she's getting the value. But what I would like to do is do 90% of the job, 50% of the job, or 100% of the job for free. And then at the end of that day, you can let me know what you think. And then we can have a further discussion. Or if I do a dog shit job, please let me know.
Thank you so much, man.
Sung Woo, how about this?
That.
I go to the apartment complex next to them, and I'm like, hey, Sally's my client over here. You see Sally's building? She's my client. Sung Woo, you think they're going to sign up? Could I do their job for free? Yeah. I go sign up 50 apartment homes right now for free, and then I charge them down the line. See, Sung Woo, if you went and found 30 apartment homes to do for free, you'd have 30 clients next month. Don't think about the money now. Think about the money next month.
Gotcha. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
That shit's fucking gold. That shit will change your life, dude, if you actually do that. But see, when I say it, you actually have to do it. That's the problem. With most people, you got to go do it. All right. We've got Initiative Fitness. My boy, what's up, Calvin?
What's up, sir? How you feeling today?
I'm feeling amazing, dude. I'm on fire.
Same thing. Same for me. Hey, real quick. So I run a lot of Facebook Marketplace ads. So the question, you already know what it is. Is this vehicle still available? Here's what I respond, but I want to hear what you would respond. So, hey, is this vehicle still available? Hey, what's up? This is Calvin. Yes, it is. Are you a loved one currently in the market and in San Antonio today? That's my response. Okay. Well, how would you respond to that?
Number one, I definitely wouldn't respond like that. Number two, here's how I would respond. All right, listen. All right, guys, let me tell you what he's doing. He has Facebook ads. Anybody have Facebook ads? Raise your hand if you got Facebook ads. A lot of you do. Okay. Listen, he's responding. He's responding. I don't know. Where's that coming from? He's responding and he's saying, hey, this is me. We're number one in the market or whatever you said. I didn't even really hear what you said, but like you were talking. But most likely what happens in a Facebook ad is they just say, is it available? Then they burn you. They don't say shit to you. Or then they say, the worst part is then they say, what's the best price? Like that's what happens every time. Like it's what happens every time. Check this out. Calvin, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this. I'm going to write my name. I'm going to write their name on this, like this. And I'm going to start the message like this. I'm going to videotape it because they can see that in the thing. They're going to open that every time. 100% open rate. And it's going to say, Calvin, congratulations. Hey, Calvin, congratulations. This is Ian with XYZ Nissan. Hey, we just dropped our price on this one on all of our inventory. This one has 3 appointments over the next couple of days. It probably won't last through the day, but if it's something that you wanted to schedule to try to get here for soon, then please come down. If there's something I can do for you, please let me know. But our price is priced according to the market. So in a 500-mile radius, we know that this is the cheapest one. We know that it's the nicest one. It's somebody had OCD in it, so it's really like, dude, like if I covered the odometer, you couldn't even tell that it's pre-owned, man. So if it's something that you want to see, please let me know. If you're looking for something else, then I can guide you in that way too. But this one's available. I just know it won't be for too long. So let me know. Can't wait to meet you. All right. Listen what I did. I did an objection buster. I handled the objection that I know is going to come. Price, availability. If they're saying the same thing every time, why don't you just tell them what they are already thinking? They're already going to object to you. They're already going to say it. So what I'm going to say is, hey, dude, we already know that we've got the best price. We already know that we've got this. We already know that it's the best one in the market. We already know that it's ready to go. I'm already preventing that objection. I'm like literally not letting you say, oh, well, what's the best price? Well, because on your Facebook market, I've literally just said that. So then your next thing is, oh, yeah, I really need a car, my trade-in. I'm looking. Then I can take you a different route. But what I found in selling hundreds of cars on Facebook Marketplace, that works a lot better. Nothing's ever going to work 100% of the time, but it gave me a higher rate of closing, which that's what I'm after, is just increasing my closing. Cool. All right. We got a few more minutes, so I'm just going to keep going down the line. I got Brian Egan, and then I'll go to Eliaso Moto, my boy down there in Florida, I think. Brian,
so dude, good to see you in person. So, you know, from my story, I just got started in solar about 6.5 weeks ago, and I'm already moving from setting to closing. And I made a mistake with a client. It's funny you talk about value first. And I ended up getting him all hyped about solar when I actually screwed up and his roof does not qualify. But and just it was an instinctual thing, I sent him an apology card with a $50 gift certificate to like the cool fresh kitchen. It's like healthy food. It's right near their house, to say, hey, your time is the most valuable thing you have and that I have. I wasted yours. Hopefully this will make up a little bit for it. Yeah, and if I can ever serve you in the future, please let me know. But it's one of those things that, as you're saying, this give value first. If you F up, own it.
God, hold on a second.
But I'm just telling you that's one of those instincts. That is
the good shit. Did you guys hear what he said? Because Brian, we got to speak slow, like we got 2-year-olds on here, because some people won't do shit. I have to tell them like 900 times. He said, if you fuck up, he wants you to still do something nice for that customer. Why? Because you should. But also, what will happen if you do that? Brian, if you sent them that card, they're likely to send you a referral. They're likely to know that you're different. They're likely to see that you have a heart. They're likely to fucking want to do something with you. Some of you guys, write that shit down. If I fuck up, I'm still going to go the distance and do something nice for my customer to show my respect for their time. And I'm still going to do that because I'm a great human. Listen, create a good relationship with yourself. I love that, Brian. Brian, did you have a question or did you just want to flaunt your greatness?
I didn't want to flaunt my greatness. I had
I'm just kidding, Brian. Yeah, what do you got?
In terms of things going forward to get value, when I'm on a door and I'm meeting people, obviously they're like, well, my bill's fine. I'm thinking about investing in a little handheld calculator and putting a little sticker on the top that has the current TICO rate, where they can just open up their next bill and it has my contact information on the back. Is that the kind of thing that, just to create that reciprocity?
Bro, that's an amazing, that's something that probably nobody has done. You'll be first to market in that. I love that, dude. I love that. What he's saying is, in some of the things that he wants to send out, he wants to send out a calculator so that they can calculate how much money that they're losing. And that would probably set a higher appointment for him. Brian, do that, dude. Send them out, man. Yeah. Hey, Brian, all you can do is just do trial by error, dude. You know what I mean? See if it works. Okay.
Well, I appreciate it, dude. Do that Monday one that from last week got me all fired up. And if you guys haven't jumped into what Aaron Williamson's doing in 3 weeks, like, it's changed my life. So
that's our fitness company. You can reach out to me on that too. The fitness changed his life because he's doing doors, and they call him Old Man Solar. And that Old Man Solar is kicking some asses because he's getting in better shape. So we've got
55 years old and crushing these boys.
Crushing them. All right, I got one more question, and if I don't get your question, just reach out to me. I put my phone number there, or if you want to come down and do something with me, remember, we've got Tim Grover coming up, Michael Jordan's coach, Andy's coach. You're going to be able to train with those two all day, like those two all day long. Michael Jordan's coach, Kobe Bryant's coach, and Andy Elliott. Like, bro, I'd do anything to be there. So, like, some of you think, I don't know, man. But, like, you're going to miss some epic shit. All right. But, Elias, tell me what your question is. Let's handle the last question. This has been a lot of fun, but let's see what he's got, and let's send this puppy home.
What's going on, brother? First of all, I want to apologize. I'm at Starbucks right now, so if you hear the background music,
it's all good, baby. What you got?
Opening my own company right now. I was working for someone else, reaching out, doing remodeling, kitchen remodeling. I'm reaching out constantly to a lot of contractors to get their jobs, so they keep on constantly sending me jobs, or homeowners that are going to keep on sending me constant jobs. I just wanted to find out what would be a better way for me to give them something as of value. Like, what would be a good thing that I could send it to them?
So number one, what do contractors need? What do contractors need? That's what you got to think about. I'd figure out what the contractors need and what moves them. If most of your leads are going to come from contractors, think of in the terms of, how do I influence the person that's influencing the business, What can I do for them that adds value to their business, adds value to bro, I'd show up and work for them for free. I'd show up and hold a sign outside of their business. I'd show up and show that I'm purely obsessed and I demand that they do business with me. And I'd show up every day. I wouldn't show up one time or two times. I would figure out what it looks like and adding value to them. And I would show up and I would deliver at a way that they've never seen before. Also, I would find the ones that are most dedicated, and the ones that are referring you business, you refer them business. You know, I don't know if a contractor is going door to door. I'd go door to door for him. I'd say, hey, bro, you know, shoot, where are you guys getting your leads? Oh, you're going door to door. Hey, dude, I'll go with you. I'll knock doors with you. I got your back. Let's go. Like, dude, just figure out how to get crazy. Figure out how to outthink these people. Figure out how to influence decisions. Figure out what people need and figure out how to deliver what they need. Figure out how to do something good for them. What does that look like? I don't know. You need to think about that. If your business is going to come from contractors, if your business is going to come from homeowners, the minute that I got one homeowner, I would put them on Facebook. I would tag them. I would make a reel of how good that shit looks. Listen, guys, have you guys seen that most of the viral reels are like home remodels and concrete, like going in because it looks really cool when it fucking goes in and does all that shit like Amando?
Yeah, that's something I really need to get into. More personal branding with social media. I'm doing.
Well, if you're not doing that, you're going to get your ass kicked. What you need to do is find one customer and tag every customer. Steve Crawford, you talked about you're in insurance sales. The minute that I'd sign somebody's family up on insurance, I'd say, hey, would you send me a picture and can I add you to Facebook so that I can tag you and tell people how amazing you are that you did something with me? And my conversation would look like this for both of you. I'll give you guys both a Facebook post right here. Elias, I signed you up on a bathroom remodel. I'm going to say, hey man, I just signed Elias up. He's doing a bathroom remodel. I got to say, this guy cares more about his wife than anything. He selected the nicest remodel because it was something that was so important to her. He is such a good husband. One day I'm going to be a husband just like him. He inspired me today to do something that I never even thought possible. Thank you for being my customer. If you need anything out there, text me, and then I'm going to tag him. Guys, let me ask you guys a question. I've said this 1,000 times. Who buys like you? Okay, Steve, if I buy a car, who's going to buy a car like me? Likely my friends. When I bought a car from Mike Baum, he's on these calls. He's on here right now. I bought an Escalade 23 lifted up. I pulled that up. All my buddies, employees saw that I had that car. You know what they went and did? They bought the same, like almost the same car. Everybody had, then there was an F-250 that was bought the next day from those guys. Dude, there was this car that was bought from those guys. My brother ended up buying the same car. Like, people have similar buying habits. That same homeowner like you that you're selling, their friend probably has the same problem, but they don't know who can fix that problem.
100%.
When they see you doing business with that person, they're going to be like, oh, what did you think about him? Well, if you're a piece of shit, they're not going to refer you. But if you were amazing and that Facebook post wasn't transactional, it was transformational, well, then they are going to refer you every time. Steve Crawford, I no longer sell cars. He asked me if I sell cars. I ain't been selling cars in 4 years. Now I just teach people how to sell them. I started the company with Andy. That's what I did. So, but does that make sense, Elias? Does that make sense? Okay,
Sure.
tag him, make
Yeah.
it transformational, put your phone number. Same with Armando when he's doing concrete. I would say, man, this business owner is tremendous. He wanted his building to look spectacular, unlike anybody else's building. He actually selected to pay more for the job, so his stuff looked better than everybody else's. Most people don't do that shit nowadays. Thank you. Guys, I'm just speaking with my belief. Let's end it here. I'm speaking with my belief. My posts are passionate. The way that I communicate my business, the way that I articulate my business is passionate. The way that I put it on Facebook is passionate. The way that I talk about is passionate. All of those things all tie together. All of those things go together. Everything that I do has to align with how we started the call: passion, belief, enthusiasm, articulation. It all ties into that. I can do one real quick with Steve Crawford's business. He's in insurance. I'd say, man, thank you to this family. They decided the most important thing is to protect their family. Steve works really, 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 really hard, but he also thinks really hard about his business and his people. There's two of us. We were built in a lab. If you didn't know that I was a twin, you know, so he works really hard to protect his family. Today, he elected to go insurance with me. That means everything to me, because you never want to be left, you know, holding the bag and not thinking about your family. Thank you for doing the right thing today, Steve. I truly appreciate you. I love you. Thank you so much. I tell him I love him, man, because I actually freaking do. So
I love you.
I love you sometimes.
Why was that hard to say? Why was there a
Thank
lot
you.
of weirdness right
My
there?
blood pressure's
Hey,
going through the
I
roof
just
because I'm
wanted
going
to-
crazy.
Hey, I wanted to tell you something. Elias, I just got off the phone. I heard your question, so I called Sari Higginson of Higginson Homes, and I said, hey, listen, if somebody were going to provide value to you, you run one of the biggest contracting companies on the West Coast, what would that look like? She said, I had somebody who was doing my advertising, my marketing for years, and my website just had pictures on it. So some guy wanted my business. So what he did was he showed up and he said, let me show you how I could revamp your website. And by the way, that's not what he does, but he showed up and he paid some guy to bring a drone and drone through the homes and make the homes look
Things
all
that
cool.
they didn't even know.
Things
Wow,
she
that's
didn't know
creative.
about. And so then he's like,
You're a
"Listen,
young guy on social media and
I'm
you should know
going
social
to-
media. They probably don't.
So he got her business, and they've been in business now for like 3 years together because he was thinking differently. He looked at something that she needed, value for the business. Instead of the pictures on there, they went to drone videos and something different. So now he does all of her business simply by just looking at her website, identifying something that they needed, and then adding value directly to the business. Multi-million-dollar contract like that.
So
I love it. Yep.
think about how we started this call, believe. What's your belief? Do you believe you're the best? Do you act like you're the best? Are you delusional like the Colorado Buffaloes that you can have it all? Are you going to get discouraged when you don't get it? Do you even give a fuck? Like, you know, like it's no big deal. Like, go have some fun today. Go talk with your heart today. Stop talking with your mouth today. If you have a team, talk to your team with your heart. Make them believe. Make other people believe. Make everybody believe around you. And if you do that, then you're going to be on fire and having fun. It's called contributing. So I would urge everybody to rewatch this, to go back through it. We went really fast. I'm thankful for you guys. I'm grateful for you guys. Let's kick some ass.
Twin
Let's go
Tuesday
win.
with us tomorrow, man. Tune in to Twin
Thank
Tuesday,
you.
baby.
Twin Tuesday tomorrow. We've got some fire coming. 9 o'clock tomorrow. We'll see you guys there.
See you guys.
Right on. Thanks.
For your time.
Thank you, guys.